Hello, my name is Laura Martinez and I'm an odontology student from the Javerianos University. Well, the topic of my English project is couples, specifically about what is the main reason why couples end their relationships. Why did I select this topic? I'm sure that we all like to feel in love and to know that there is a person who loves us and cares for us. Most of us want to meet and settle with the person that we consider is the perfect one. But sometimes we have to meet many people before we can find our right person, or worse yet, we never find it. I've been in a relationship for more than 2 years, and through this, I have realized that being in love is one of the most beautiful things that has happened to me in my life. It gives me a lot of tranquility and happiness to be with that special person, and I would like it to last forever. But sometimes there are some difficult situations that can cause us to have arguments or fights and make us think about ending the relationship. For this reason, it seems really interesting to me to investigate about this topic, about how relationships work and how we should behave or act so that the coexistence between the two people could be the best and could last for the rest of our lives. As we all know, deciding to split is a very long and difficult process. There are a lot of reasons why couples have dissolutions and decide to end their relationship. Some of these are money issues. By money issues, I mean, for example, that I have a boyfriend who doesn't have a lot of money, and I tell him, I don't know, let's go to the movies. And he said, no, I don't have money. And I said, okay. But the next day, I said, let's go to a party. And he said, no, I don't have money. And that happens every single day. So I'm sure that nobody wants to stay in a relationship that happens these kind of things. Life habit abuse. Life habit abuse is like alcoholism, drug addiction, I don't know, casino players, and all that stuff. Narcissism. Well, it is a person who thinks that he or she is superior or better than the other person. And it's also manipulative, selfish, and some research indicates that high narcissism is correlated with infidelity. Communication issues. As everybody knows, communication is the most important thing in every relationship. It's like the base of it. So, if there are communication problems, it can be a big factor for the relationship to end. Relational abuse. It means emotional, sexual, or physical abuse. For me, this is the worst thing that can happen in a relationship. If any of these situations occurs in your relationship, you should end it immediately. So, I interviewed different people who have been in a relationship for more than a year, some who are married, some others who are not, and asked them 3 questions. Question 1. Which of these situations that I mentioned before would be a reason to end your relationship and why?
The reasons I would terminate my relationship would be drug abuse, because when you start taking drugs, you know exactly who you're gonna hurt and you know all the situations you're gonna go through. So for me, you have to be a little bit selfish and ask yourself if you're willing to sacrifice a chunk of your life and time and effort for someone who actively decided to take drugs. And the second one would be relational abuse, because for me, um, physical abuse it's not an
I would end
option.
my relationship because of relational abuse and drug abuse. I don't feel comfortable being with someone that does that, so I would definitely terminate my relationship.
Out of the situations in which I would end a relationship, I would definitely put miscommunication, lack of trust, abuse, and cheating. And out of those, I would say that the worst of them is definitely cheating, because I personally think that when you cheat, you put you're abusing the other person. You're breaking the trust the other person puts on you, and I don't know. The damage you make is way beyond limits.
I will end my relationship if my partner has life abuse issues like alcoholism or drug addiction, because I think that these issues are personal decisions that the person took, and I don't want to live with someone who took the decision of harm himself.
I will end up my relationship because of trust issues such as jealousy, because I think that a relationship should be based on trust, and when someone has jealousy in a big way, it's because they don't trust their partner.
Hi. I think I would end the relationship in the first place if there were any type of abuse, any type of physical abuse, emotional abuse, okay, because that is not to be tolerated by any person. So that would be my very first reason to end the relationship. And the second one might be addiction. If there's any type of life habit abuse or addictions, drug addiction, alcohol, I don't think I would get involved with that person in the first place. But if I do and I didn't know that person had a problem, and that problem is becoming very big issue for a relationship, I will try to end it, because it's not my problem to fix that person's problem.
Question number 2. Have you ever gone through any of these situations?
Yes, I have been through communication issues.
Yes, we have had communication issues.
Now, with my current relationship, I've had the problem of miscommunication and somehow lack of trust, because I've been cheated on before in an environment in which my ex was like in a club, drinking with friends, having fun, etc. So with my current couple, we were in a club, we were with friends, we were drinking, we were having fun, and somehow the problems of the past came and made me think that something bad was going to happen because of the environment we were in. So I felt bad about it. My girl noticed it, so we had like a little fight because she said that I didn't trust her and stuff.
I have communication issues with my partner because when I say something to him, he thinks that I'm angry or that I tell him the things in a rude way. But the problem is that I don't feel that it's true, because I think that I am a very serious person and he just took it to a bad way.
Some of the issues that we have passed through with my couple is lack of trust, but most of the times it's not lack of trust between us, but in others. For example, sometimes when I hang out with my friends and maybe my ex-girlfriend is there, she doesn't trust her. So the lack of trust is not mostly between us, but what can others do to us?
Hi again. In past relationships, I have dealt with trust issues and communication issues. I think they're very common in everybody's relationship. Trust issues, it was about jealousy, but it was irrational jealousy, and so we talked it out and it worked out. But mainly that, I haven't had problems with life habit abuse or emotional or physical abuse. Maybe a little bit of narcissism too in one of my ex-boyfriends, but that was it.
Question number 3. If yes, what have you done to try to solve the problem and continue with the relationship despite all the inconvenience?
Well, what I have done all the time, and my advice would be to just be honest with yourself and with your partner, and try to talk it out and just cut to the chase and have a long conversation of what's going on, and be completely honest, even if it's going to hurt them or it's going to hurt the relationship. And almost immediately after that, you start to feel a lot better.
The way we have worked it out is by being honest to each other and agreeing on how to fix our problems.
Now, what we did to fix this problem was that we basically talked. I think that talking and communicating with each other is very, very, very important, because that's how you build trust. And that was the issue there. The lack of trust that she thought I had on her, but the thing was I didn't have like a lack of trust in her. I had a problem with the environment, with the place we were in, because I I've been cheating on before in that kind of environment. So I explained it to her that that was what happened to me, that was why I felt bad, and we talked about it, and yeah, basically talking. I think that's one of the most important things you need to base a relationship in, communication.
To solve this problem, we always talk about it, and the conclusion is that it has to be a two-way compromise on the matter. He has to understand that I don't always talk to him in a rude way, and I have to make an effort on the way I speak, so it has to be in a more loving way.
When we have this type of issue, what we do mostly is that we talk about it, and when we solve it, the solving thing that we do is that she hangs out with me, or she goes with me to every party or meeting that we have, so that the trust issue can be solved.
When I had communication issues, I first try to figure out if I was making a mistake or the other person was. If I knew it was my fault, then I'll try to change that behavior on myself and try to be more expressive and more attentive. And also, as women, we like to talk a lot, and sometimes we have to summarize things for boys. And so I try to do that. And when it was the other way around, I would tell the other person what's going on, what's affecting me, or why don't you speak, why don't you tell me this or that. And usually we will work it out, and it will turn out fine. With trust issues, yeah, that would be like a lot of confrontation to the other person, because mainly they don't want to accept that they're having trust issues. And so sometimes it's just based on insecurity of that other person or yourself, and that's why you have to fix first. Because if your partner is not giving you any reason to be jealous, to have any issues regarding trust, then definitely it's your problem. So you have to fix it yourself, and then you figure out that your relationship.
Finally, I will analyze all the answers and define what is the main reason why couples end their relationship and what each person does to try to make their relationship as good as possible. Well, after having heard all these points of view, I can conclude that the main reasons why people end relationships are relational abuse, habit abuse, and trust issues. And the worst of them was relational abuse, the one I thought was going to be. I totally agree with the result, because I think that violence, aggression, disrespect is something that can't be forgiven. People who often make these kind of mistakes don't do it once or twice. They'll continue doing it until something worse can happen, like it's the death. I also conclude that the best way to solve any problem in the relationship is just by talking. Being as honest as possible is always the best solution, even though sometimes we have to say things that can be very difficult. Just remember that everything has a solution.